My friend, you won't believe what just happened behind the scenes at the Eagles. A completely unexpected signing has just been finalized, and it could change the course of Philadelphia's season. We're talking about a former five-star recruit arriving at practice, and at the same time, two well-known names are saying goodbye. I got exclusive details that haven't yet appeared on any website. But before I reveal everything, if you truly love the Eagles, like and subscribe to the channel now, because what I'm about to tell you is going to be hot. The Philadelphia Eagles made waves on Thursday by adding a name that previously carried can't-miss status. KJ Henry, a former five-star recruit from Clemson, is now officially part of the Eagles practice squad. At 6 feet 4 inches and 245 pounds, Henry was once considered one of the top defensive ends in the country, a player scouts drooled over when he dominated high school fields, and he committed to Clemson with the weight of expectations on his shoulders. He entered the NFL as a fifth-round pick of the Washington Commanders in the 2023 draft. Since then, his journey has been anything but steady, bouncing from Washington to stints with the Bengals, Cowboys, Browns, and even spending time with the Eagles earlier this year. And now, fate has brought him back to Philadelphia, with the chance to fight for a bigger role. Henry's arrival signals one thing clearly: the Eagles aren't done experimenting with ways to bolster the depth of their defensive line. With a season built on relentless pass rush, every extra weapon is important. And Henry, despite his status as a seasoned player, still possesses the tools and pedigree that made him a highly coveted prospect. His size, height, and flashes of speed on the defensive line will give him a chance to revive his career in Philadelphia's system. But Henry wasn't the only signing. The Eagles also signed defensive back Jacob Sykes, a player with a completely different trajectory. Sykes, who attended Harvard before transferring to UCLA, went undrafted in 2023, but earned opportunities. He spent time with the Seattle Seahawks and even played for the San Antonio Brahmas in the UFL, demonstrating resilience and determination to keep his football career alive. Philadelphia now gives him a chance to prove he can contribute at the NFL level. However, to make room for Henry and Sykes, two players had to leave, and their names may upset fans who closely follow the roster. Cornerback Eli Ricks, who shone at LSU before ending up at Alabama, was released. Ricks shone a few times with Philadelphia, but failed to secure a spot. Alongside him, linebacker Antoine Powell-Ryland was also cut. Powell-Ryland's departure is particularly surprising, considering he was drafted in the 6th round this year, coming out of Florida and Virginia Tech. His release is a reminder of how brutal life on the fringes of an NFL roster can be. One day you're a draft pick, the next you're fighting for your football future elsewhere. It's a cruel reality, but one that underscores how competitive the Eagles roster is. Every move is calculated, every roster spot is precious, and if a player doesn't fit in or isn't progressing as expected, the front office won't hesitate to release him. This is par for the course in a time that seeks not just victories, but a championship. And speaking of seeking victories, roster changes are only part of the discovery, because as much as Henry and Sykes bring intrigue, the big question hanging over Philadelphia this week is health, and whether the Eagles will have their full arsenal ready when they take the field against the Denver Broncos. That could determine Sunday's outcome. The injury report. If there's one thing that can derail even the most talented NFL rosters, it's injuries. And Eagles fans know this all too well. Thursday's injury report brought disruptions and new concerns, painting a complex picture as Philadelphia prepares for a crucial Week 5 matchup at home against Denver. The standout performer is tight end Dallas Goedert. On Wednesday, he was completely sidelined with a did not practice designation, sparking concerns that his position for Sunday could be seriously in doubt. But Thursday saw progress. Goedert returned to the field in a limited capacity, a sign that his knee issue may not be as serious as initially feared. For an Eagles offense that relies heavily on its emotions, blocking, and ability to find gaps in coverage, having Goedert on the field could be the difference maker against a Denver defense that thrives on creating confusion. But not all the news was positive. Fellow tight end Grant Calcaterra missed practice due to illness, leaving a cloud of uncertainty over the depth at the position. While illnesses can be short-term setbacks, the timing is not ideal with the Broncos game approaching. Then there's linebacker Nakobe Dean, whose situation is perhaps the most closely monitored. Dean is recovering from a torn patellar tendon suffered in the playoff victory over the Packers in January. This week, the team opened its 21-day practice window, giving him a chance to slowly reintegrate. He was still limited on Thursday, but his presence on the field is already encouraging. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio praised Dean earlier in the week, reminding everyone that, in addition to being the defense's quarterback and a leader, Dean also performed at a high level before his injury. Fangio hinted that Dean's return could come sooner rather than later, though it remains doubtful he will have a significant role this Sunday. The Eagles are expected to be cautious. After all, the season is long, and their leadership will be most needed down the stretch. Meanwhile, three key starters gave fans a breather. Defensive tackle Jalen Carter, shoulder. Cornerback Adoree Jackson, groin. And right tackle Lane Johnson, shoulder, returned return to action after being limited the previous day. Their recovery is crucial, as all three play important roles. Carter as a disruptor in the trenches, Jackson as a stabilizer in the secondary, and Johnson as the anchor protecting Jalen Hurts. So, where does this leave the Eagles? With a still strong roster, but with enough uncertainty to make fans nervous. The Broncos arrive at Lincoln Financial Field with a reputation for proving their worth, led by rookie quarterback Bo Nix. And while the health of the offense is one question, there's another story that could be just as important, if not more so. A young cornerback who's already making waves in the NFL and forcing Denver's coaching staff to take notice. Sometimes a rookie doesn't just join in for a while, he changes the very DNA. For the Philadelphia Eagles, that newcomer is Quinyon Mitchell, and his impact has been impossible to ignore. Drafted 22nd overall, Mitchell has already had standout performances, capped by his dominant performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he defended 5 passes, a career high, and earned NFC Defensive Player of the Week honors. In doing so, he became the first Toledo player to receive the award. Opponents are taking notice. Denver coach Sean Payton openly praised Mitchell this week, admitting that his growth from year 1 to year 2 is evident on video. Payton described Mitchell as someone who sometimes plays like the best receiver, citing his height, speed, and confidence as his standout traits. Imagine that, a coach openly recognizing an opposing cornerback as one of the most dangerous players he'll face. That's hard-earned respect. Mitchell's rise has also sparked discussions about what could have been for the Broncos. Had they not had to draft quarterback Bo Nix 12th overall last year, Mitchell might have been the man. Instead, his fate was placed in Philadelphia, where he quickly formed one of the league's most promising cornerback duos with Cooper DeJean. Even NFL stars are taking notice. Patrick Surtain II, Denver's all-pro cornerback and reigning Defensive Player of the Year, praised Mitchell's technique, aggressiveness, and footwork, predicting he will be a great cornerback for years to come. Praise like that, coming from one of the league's best, is no small feat. Inside the Eagles' locker room, Mitchell's impact is equally profound. DeJean, who tied his career high with 9 tackles last week, said Mitchell's confidence and swagger elevated the entire defense. Adoree Jackson echoed the sentiment, highlighting how Mitchell's calm yet focused demeanor translates into fearless play on Sundays. He doesn't say much, but his preparation and presence inspire confidence throughout the defense. At just 24 years old, Mitchell is already seen as a franchise cornerstone, the kind of player who will demand a contract extension as soon as possible. And if his early performances are any indication, the Eagles may already have their next defensive superstar. With the Eagles bringing in former 5-star recruit KJ Henry, dealing with key injuries, and watching Quinyon Mitchell emerge as a defensive star, which of these storylines do you believe will shape Sunday's game? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.